All right, hey Torrin, hey family. Welcome to a bit of the Clash. Oh, got to get the geezer on for the Clash. There's an interesting thing that friends have told me about the word geezer in America, which is for you guys, geezer means like old person. But in Australia, it also has a duality of meanings. In the UK, it means something completely different. So in Australia, it does mean old person, but also means slightly tough person. And in the UK, the word geezer is what you would refer to as kind of like a really tough working class English bloke. So if you're a top geezer, Torrin, that means that you're a tough English guy. So you're an official geezer by default, being that you know me, and I'm a geezer. Not that I'm tough, but I'm kind of half English, half Australian. So therefore, I've got a bit of bogan and a bit of geezer. We'll explain bogan in the next lesson. All right, great little segue. You could probably fast forward a little bit once you've watched that one time to learn about the lesson. All right, so great news today. We're going to learn the Clash, which is what we were doing last week. I haven't had time to pop the video up for you until today. So this will just be a little refresher of what we'll do this afternoon when we have our guitar lesson together. It's mainly just going to be the basics of the chord progression and how many strums and how many muted things that you use in between those strums. But what we'll also be doing, Torrin, is I'll be teaching you a strumming pattern this afternoon, which will add to the song and make it even more interesting. Okay, so this is a relatively easy song. That's why it's a really cool song. The only difficult thing about it is the rhythm is a little bit complex. So when you're playing this song, you have to remember the thing that we were talking about last Wednesday during the lesson, which is that there's a specific number of strums to each chord, and it's not exactly the same as you would find in a song like House the Rising Sun, which flows through and everything's kind of similar. So let's get started, and our first change will be between our D chord and our G chord. So very, very simply, you play the D down 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Super easy, right? Let's move to the next chord. Then you go to the G chord, and this time instead of 3 strums, you play that G chord 4 times. Then return to the D chord and strum it once. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the slow version. Fast version is. And again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you can count it like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Super easy, very simple to remember. Great thing about this is that pretty much follows throughout the whole song, depending on which chords you're playing, except for one little section I'll show you at the end. Okay, so we start with that one. Very, very basic. Let's go. Now this is where you do a bit of palm muting, and you can be creative with this. Essentially what you're doing is muting the strings and then playing them 3 times down. So you'll get a nice good vibe playing this. Also, we discussed earlier that there was a little lick involved, Torrin, which is going from the 10th fret of the E string to the 8th fret of the E string. That's the high E string. Where that comes in, I'll leave up to you, because all versions of the songs are a little bit different, and I think the version you've been listening to has that little lick after the palm muting the first time through, and then I think the lick comes in after that, which is kind of cool. All right, so first time we just repeat these two, chord progressions twice, or these 2 chords twice. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Here's where it changes. Now, instead of going from a D to a G chord, we're going from a G chord to the dreaded F chord, the horrible F chord. Hopefully this will be good for your practice too, because it'll encourage you to practice that very difficult bar chord. All right, so when you're doing this, same deal, 3 strums on that first chord, 4 strums on the second chord, which is the F in this case, coming back to the G and playing it once. This chord progression you only play the 1 time. So we go. And I'll play it for you again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Very interesting. Now back to the other chord progression, which is the D to the G. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And now here's where it changes just a little bit. So let's not get ahead of ourselves too quick. Let's just go through what we've learnt so far. Repeating the D to the G twice with that strumming pattern. Then going G to F once. Back to the D to the G part, playing that once, and then going into what I'm about to explain to you. So I'll play all of that for you. Change. And back to D. All right, super easy, right? I know you'll get this, Tyrone. You're a little Einstein musician. Awesome. Little channeling the ghost of Joe Strummer, which is what you should be doing. In this case, Tyrone, what you do is you do the same thing, except this time you're just playing an A chord. So this one. So you're doing the same amount of strum, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, except on the last, you put your pinky on the high E string of the 3rd fret. So it's slowly, this is how you play it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that again, but fast. So again, count it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that 1 is the... And then simply go right back into the beginning of the song, play that D again to the G. So... Alright, you are now accredited member of The Clash, The Gays, which is absolutely fantastic. You're a geezer. You soon will be a bogan if we learn an Australian song, which is great. I don't know if you'd want to be one, but like, hey, I'm one and I'm not so bad. But anyway, let's play the whole song all the way through and see how we go. Alright, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2. Change your chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And back to the D. And then into this A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then ending. And it repeats, 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 repeats. We'll learn an extension of that this afternoon when we do a strumming pattern where there's going to be some ups and downs, just like life, Tyrone. There are ups, there are downs. That's a philosophical lesson to go along with the music one. Oh, it's deep. Not really, just me being a muppet. All right, have a great day, buddy. I'll see you probably in an hour and a half. Sorry again for the late video, but better late than never. All right, have an awesome day, Tyrone and family. Yarn!